Hello. I thought we'd do some traditional art today. I also have a kitten. He is a very lovely kitten. Okay. Why did I sit him there? Of course I should have guessed he would just loaf and settle. But no, you can go back to sitting on my lap and being a happy boy. I have another cat down below on my feet because I have a hot water bottle on my feet, so of course he wants to be involved in the warmth. It is the 18th of April right now, so let's put the date in the corner. Elsa wants to do some drawing too. It's my own fault. I did sit him on the table, made him think he's allowed on the table. Go and pester Toby. That's my go-to distraction now whenever I have kittens in the way. Just put the kitten on top of the other kitten. Hope they'll distract each other. So I thought today I would try drawing a traditional version of a digital art I did. So I have a character who I've named Naira. Her actual name is Nemain, but she gets called Naira as her nickname. You'd think with a name as short as Nemain, you wouldn't really need a nickname. But you know what? She deserves a nickname. Why not? She can have a nickname if she wants to have a nickname. And Nemain is a demon. Like, literally. I kind of want to make a webcomic based around these characters eventually. But I need to stop coming up with more and more plans and actually work on Human Redefined more and get that more out of the way. Currently I've been redoing pages. I just finished redoing page 2. I was kind of reluctant to start redoing pages because, you know, you're always going to get better with art, so what if I redo them now and then end up wanting to redo them again in future? But then I figure if I redo them now, if I redo the pages in future, these early pages won't have as much work to do or something like that. Like, I'd rather redo pages now while there's less pages than get to 20 pages and then go, oh, I want to redo 20 pages. Like, maybe I'll have less pages to redo if I, you know, redo these ones now. But ideally I would not keep redoing the pages because it takes a while. Even for today's page 2 ended up taking less time than I thought it would. Maybe I sped up a little between pages. I don't know. I definitely know that I took long enough to do page 5, that by the time I finished page 5, it was too much of a leap in quality from page 4, so that's part of why I decided to redo. So I figure they're demons, but I don't want to go with the typical, oh, they're from hell thing. I figure I'll make up my own kind of planet, and maybe the demons live in the interior of the planet. And there's different regions within the interior of the planet, and the region is what influences their appearance and that kind of thing. But then there's also people that live on the surface, and sometimes demons, they move from the interior of the interior of the planet to the exterior, and then maybe generations later you have a type of demon that their ancestors were from the interior of the planet, but you know, they've been on the outside of the planet long enough that maybe there's been some changes and they're not, you know, quite as standard. And then maybe we also have and then they also the demons, they have horns, like, and I think this would be the default appearance of the horns, you know. But as a demon ages, they can also put wrappings on their horns in order to change their shape or shave them down, or maybe they even put stuff on them to encourage growth into particular shapes, so they end up with kind of more custom horns. But you know, that's a personal thing, and it's different to every demon if they choose to or not. And also, as a demon ages, they eventually grow a second and a third set of horns, so you can kind of have a rough estimate on a demon's age based on how many sets of horns they have. So Nemain here, with only one set of horns, would be a fairly young demon. And maybe she was born, I think she would have been born on the interior of her planet. Like, there will be different planets, but we'll focus on one planet. And each planet has its own kind of species and its own different subtypes of demons and everything. So she was born on the interior of one planet, and then eventually she moved, her family maybe uprooted and moved to above the surface, and she was nearly an adult then, so she went with them. But her sister, who was a lot older than her, maybe still primarily lives underground. The hand is covered by the hair, I guess. That wasn't intentional, but it has ended up being the way. Her older sister, I've done art of her older sister, and I've even done art of her sitting with her older sister, but I haven't yet given her older sister a name, because names are hard. And Naira has a girlfriend named Adan, and Adan she was born on the interior of a different planet to Naira, I think. And maybe her planet was a lot hotter, because Adan has a lot thicker skin. Her skin is also boiling hot, like it is very, very hot. It burns anyone who touches it. But despite being raised on the interior of a different planet, I think this is a weird pose, isn't it? I think Naira here is able to handle her girlfriend's heat. Yeah, she's lying down, that's why the weird pose. She wouldn't just stand like this. So I've got a lying down pose. I should have put it further on down the page so it would have taken up the whole page, but you know, whatever. And then the two of them probably met on the surface of Naira's home planet. I don't know why Adan would want to move to a different planet, you know, considering there's going to be more people that can actually withstand how hot her skin is on her own home planet. But she decided to move. She got lucky. She met her lovely girlfriend, Naira, and discovered that Naira could stand how hot her skin is. I don't know why I have my flesh pens sitting next to me, because I can't use my flesh pens on this character. She doesn't have any flesh colours on her. I guess I could use watercolour, but then I'd have to get up and get some water, and I don't think moving is an option with the kittens right now. So we will have to pull out the markers. I also have this journal, this sketchbook. It's almost a journal, not really. And eventually I will do a sketchbook tour of that. It's nearly finished. I'm really looking forward to that. I also have this sketchbook. This is a drawing I did recently. That's not the date, that's not it, it's this one. This is the date. So there are definitely some sketchbook tours coming in the future. So let's do the lightest blue first. I'm not really sure these pens layer well, but you know what? We'll give it the old try. The worst that'll happen is we'll end up with a poorly drawn character, and is that really the worst? The worst thing? Like, does every art piece have to be good? Or is it simply the experience of drawing that we will enjoy? I need to move this little light, because the shadows are kind of funky. Kind of better, but not really. Bonk, bink, bonk, bink. So, Naira here has blue skin, so you'd assume she wouldn't be able to stand heat a whole lot, but you know what? I decided she can, so therefore she can. I guess that's how it goes. If you create something, you're allowed to decide the rules. I actually got help on Discord because I posted a picture of Naira here when I was still working on the sketch and asked what colour she should have. And that's how I got the colours for her, because Amy suggested these colours for her skin. I think she suggested the hair colour too. Someone suggested an eye colour, but that was different to the hair, but I ended up going with golden eyes because I felt like it would look cool. I've actually got some gold washi tape, so maybe I could put like gold, oh crap, put blue on her hair. She doesn't have blue hair. Maybe I could put gold washi tape around the edges of this page to make it look extra fancy. That could be fun. Actually, I wouldn't really describe it as gold per se. It's more of a pinky gold, but it would still look cool around the edges of the page. Or I could try cutting the washi tape and using it as her hair colour. Her hair is a kind of gold colour, but I think this rose gold tape that I have would look alright too. I also want to make a character that has silvery hair as a kind of direct contrast to Naira hair. I just think it would be fun. I'm not even really sure what the story to it would be if I were to make a story about them, but I guess that's something I could figure out. Like, for ages I had the characters for Human Redefined, but I didn't know what kind of story I would want to tell with the characters, because that's kind of just the way I tend to do things. Well, I have characters thing where I will have the characters and then later on I will think of stories to go with them, because I really do like making characters. I wonder if this gold pen works. Is this gold or is it just yellow? Shakety shakety shake. Unity here in New Zealand is kind of a cheaper brand that does pretty much every type of stationery. They do a wide range of things, honestly. So, I can't remember if this washi tape is from the same brand. I mean, I don't think it is. I'm not seeing it anywhere on that. But anyway, all these markers I'm using, aside from those Crayola ones that I'm not using, they're just sitting there. Yeah, Unity. You can see it on all of them. It's a cheap kind of brand sold at the warehouse. It might be sold other places too, I don't know. Wait a second. What brand was my microwave? That might be random, but I can't remember if my microwave was... Ah, my microwave is a different brand to the markers, because I remember my microwave brand does a lot of weird things, you know, like microwaves, but also things unrelated to microwaves, So it's kind of a broader range than what Unity is, I guess. Cool. Well, this pen is clearly running out of ink. One day I will get a decent set of markers, but today is not that day. And I think these ones are working good for now, considering I don't actually have a whole lot of experience using markers in general. Like, why get fancy markers if I still feel like I need a lot more practice with markers? There are some markers from Mighty 8 that I've been thinking about getting. I was going to get them, but then there ended up being other things that I wanted to pay for instead, because there is always more important things than markers, unfortunately. And plus the fact that I knew I probably wouldn't use them as much as, you know, the price would say. Like, you'd think if you get something for $400, you want to use it for 400 hours, if that makes sense. So, they weren't $400, by the way, just to clarify. But I didn't think I would use them often enough to get the full worth out of them. I mean, maybe if I kept them long enough, I would. And I probably would keep them for a very long time, because I'm not really the type of person to get rid of things. But then there's also space as a limiting factor. Like, I don't have a lot of space. Once Julia, my rabbit, moves out of her room, I will have a little bit more space, but I still won't have lots and lots and lots of space. So, you know, you're going to have to consider that. I do actually want to get a second desk to have behind this desk, because I'm always running out of desk space, honestly. And I could honestly use more desk space. And then maybe if I had more desk space, I would be more inclined to get more markers. And then I'd have to get something fancy to hold them, rather than just having them in this case. Like, I want something that would display them. But, you know, that's something to think about more once I have moved and settled. I'm moving, but I'll still be living in the van that I live in right now. Just the van will be in a different physical location. And I still have yet to figure out what the mail situation is at the new place to be able to get things delivered. You know, I think this has turned out pretty alright. I mean, it's not blended in the slightest, but you know what, that's fine. Bink bonk, bink bonk. Maybe if I get those markers, they will be better at layering than what these ones are. I will have to consider getting them maybe at the end of the year. I have a lot of things I've said that I need to consider getting at the end of the year. But you know what? That's fine. I will consider all the things if I wish to. My scalp is itchy. I kind of wish I'd drawn something that uses this orange, because I kind of just want to draw with orange suddenly. But you know what? The next drawing can have orange. I think I'm definitely a lot slower with drawing with markers than some others. Because there are definitely artists I watch on YouTube that definitely would have had a lot more finished by now than what I do. But you know what, that's fine. I will take this at my own pace. And if you're watching this and finding it interesting, I would love comments on advice on how to use markers better, how to practice using markers better, or maybe tell me about your favourite types of markers, or if there are markers you think I should try, but also try to consider what is their availability to New Zealand, because sometimes brands just really don't like shipping here. Like, I think last time I looked into Arteza, is that the brand? You know, that art brand that a whole bunch of YouTubers suddenly started really getting onto. And I don't think they shipped to New Zealand. So at the time I could not acquire those. And honestly, I wasn't really interested in markers enough to think that it would be worth getting. I should have used like a lighter grey as the shading for this. But you know what? This is the one we used. So that's fine. Would using a blendy thing over this make a difference? Is that how it works? I don't know. Can't hurt to try though. Do y'all feel like that made a difference? Because I honestly don't know. Or is it that you layer that down and then you use? I also have a couple of these markers that I got somewhere else. They had them there and you can pick out singular colours. I think that's what you typically do for Copics, you pick out singular colours. Or you can get the really expensive packs. I think people who have heaps of Copics are absolutely nuts, but at the same time they're, you know, apparently good quality and last a while, and you can get refills for them. So yeah, I guess I can kind of get why people get them, and if you actually, you know, use markers a lot, maybe that's more worth it to you. But I do not use markers a lot, so they're not worth it to me. So the horns are just white, so we don't need to colour those, so that's fine. And her teeth would obviously be white, so why would I colour in her teeth? Actually, whenever I draw this character digitally, I tend to have it so the whites of her eyes, her teeth and her horns are all slightly off-white. So they're slightly grey. And then I put a little bit of white over top of that as a way of, you know, adding a bit of glow, I guess, to them, adding a bit of brightness. And it also makes her hair and her eyes look better, I think. Bonky bonky bonk. Also, my last 3 videos, I think, have all been Genshin videos, and I promise that was not deliberate. I talked about it, I think, in one of the Genshin videos. Like, I don't really want my channel to be focused on games, per se. Like, I like playing games, and I like making videos of games. Like, I would love to get back to making Minecraft videos more, but I don't want games to ever be the focus. Like, I never want to feel pigeonholed into any particular thing, if that makes sense. Like, sure, I post this, whatever, but I don't want you to feel like the main thing of the channel. Like, I don't want it to ever be someone comes to the channel and goes, oh, this video, that's strange to see here, that's suspicious. You know, I should have gotten my ink out, but too late for ink now. Maybe next video we can use some ink. I'm kind of sad about everything that went down with Inktober, if I'm honest. Like, I don't feel comfortable participating in Inktober anymore. Even though I used to look forward to it, even though I never actually completed Inktober. But I always looked forward to Inktober, as it was just one of those things I looked forward to. But, you know, after everything that went down, it's like, I don't really want to do anything to do with Inktober or support Inktober anymore. But I still kind of want to do something ink related for a month. So I guess I either look up what ink related challenges are for other months, or I make my own. Which I guess could be fun. Like, when it comes out, there's never anything stopping a person from just making their own thing. I need to get my eyeballs closer to that. Not the tidiest colouring here, but it's fine. There we go. Oh crap, I forgot the line. Also, she has white specks all over her skin, you know, it's almost as if she's got a galaxy. But I don't know how I would accomplish doing white specks with the supplies I have. so she will not have white specks. Would maybe this work? No, there is no ink in it. Failed idea. I kind of want to use this blue for something. Not on this picture, but in future maybe. Or is this the blue we used? I think that is the blue we used. Good choice, past me, who immediately forgot. I think these two greens would be really fun on a character. Like, I would like to do that. Okay, let's put down some washi tape then. Do we want the silver or the coppery one? I think we'll go with the silver. Bonky bonk. I really like washi tape, so I've got like a decent amount. We've got these two, and then I've already packed away all my other washi tape because they're not in tubes like this. They're loose washi tape, so I packed them away. So when it's time to bring the slide outs in, I have a little less stuff to worry about. I also really love the sketchbook that I got because of the fact it's got that down the spine, so you can easily take out pages, which I think is very funky, very fun. Oh, this is the other side, by the way. I could draw the same character on the other side and then colour it with pencils, and it might look fun. You know, same picture twice in a row but different mediums, and we could use the bleed through of this page as our basic outline to follow along with. Could be fun. There we go. I find this particular, the shiny washi tapes, they don't tend to stick as well as my other ones for some whatever reason. Like, they're more prone to peeling off the page, so I tend to actually put something over top of them to stick them down better. Stickers. Don't know if I need to do that here. We'll see how well it stays. Here on my piece of paper, you can hear Kira making bread on her bed. She's got a cat bed that she's taken to sleeping in. I was leaning back, sorry. A cat bed she's taken to sleeping in all the time, and she's really cute, and sometimes she just sits in there and makes bread. And it is very lovely and very adorable, and I love that for her. Used to actually be Lily's preferred bed, but at some point Akira took it over, and honestly I don't think Lily is going to argue for that back, because Akira is a big cat. I think both the kittens have gone to sleep on my feet from the feeling of the lumpy cat on my legs. Oop. Too close. Oop, that's not as sticky now because I put it on the page and ripped it off. Oop, I stuck it in the exact same place again, didn't I? Yeah, that'll work, I guess. And then cut the tape, cut the tape, cut the tape. And stick the little scrappy tapes over there. Does this work? Oop, nope. Doesn't look awesome, but it also doesn't look the worst, so we'll go with it. Maybe after the video I can colour in the background with something that isn't a marker and will take up a million trillion years. Could use watercolor paint and do the whole background, or I could just leave it like this, I guess. Oops, yeah, bubbles, yeah, bubbles. So that is our drawing for today. Naira. We could write her name, I guess. Naira. I'm looking forward to finishing this book, because, you know, I'm only drawing in this book whenever I'm recording a video, and it would be fun to, you know, have a whole sketchbook that has a video for each and every drawing in it. There you go. I also really like the shape and the general size of the sketchbook. I don't know if I actually ended up posting the video for this one, now that I think about it. I think I might have coloured it and recorded it, but I didn't talk during it, so it would have just been a speed art type thing, and I ended up not wanting to post that, potentially. Or did I post it? I honestly don't know. And then we have this one. And then we have this one. And as you'll see, I added this to the spine, because apparently it makes the spine stay together better. Maybe one day we will do something on the cover. But that is all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed drawing it.